So, sir, my name is Dinashri. I am from first year BSW, School of Social Work. So, I am here to tell about Kalaripaita. Kalaripaita is shortened as Kalari. So, Kalari is divided as two parts. So, first is Tekkan and second one is Vadakkan. That Tek means south and Vadak means northern style. So I am following Vadakkan style. So
they're two totally different styles.
Yeah.
Are there commonality between them or not at all?
What, sir?
Is there commonality between the two styles?
There is common and there is a little bit different.
Difference also, okay.
So Kalari is not only the use of weapons like urumi, some blade items, and shield and shield, sword and sword. So it is also a practice to make our body flexible. So can I show some?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, thank you, sir. If you are interested, you also can.
First, let me see what you're doing before
Okay.
you trick me into.
So, sir, first I am showing Guru Vandana. So in Kalari, we are starting Guru seeks Guru's blessing. So,
Right.
Okay.
Venu, you're going to join? Huh? Dean, you want to join?
And floor. And then we then we seek our permission from our Guru. So, did you want to join with me?
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but you know, I'm not going to do it alone. So, Dean, you also please come. Venu also come.
Oh, yes. I have one question, you sir. So, very energetic person, you know.
But martial art I do is completely different system.
Okay.
You want to try some of that?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, what is your message to the younger generation who loves, who interested in martial arts?
Most people who do martial arts, it's explained as self-defense. You know that you're trying to defend yourself from somebody who's attacking you or some sort of a threat. But in fact, martial arts is not that. Martial arts is about discovering yourself and about understanding how you react to different things. So I think it's a very powerful thing, and there are many different ones. By the way, it is said that the mother of all martial arts is Kalari. I don't know. I do Japanese martial art. Actually, I do 2 Japanese martial arts. And both of them would say that there's a lot that they have got from Kalari. Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I hope you loved it. It is something very celebrated in Kerala, Kalaripaita. So it started with that. Yeah.
But in Kalari, you need a lot of flexibility.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so I'm not that flexible.
No, you are.
I'm not that much.
No.
In the martial art that I do, you don't need so much flexibility.
But we were
So she's very flexible.
Yeah, love that you enjoyed. So next, can we go with the next question?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, please. So
You're in charge.
Yeah, I've given the in charge.
Blank check, do whatever you want.
Yes. So next, we'll go with Steffi. Steffi is here. Come on.
Namaste, Rahulji. My name is Steffi Shaji, first year BSW student. Your flexibility is so good.
My?
Your flexibility is so good. And I asked just one question. So you have to closely connect with the peoples of Kerala, especially as a representative of Wayanad. And what is your perception about Kerala and its people? And what role do you think the youth of Kerala can play the shaping of future in India?
I spent 5 years being a member of parliament from Wayanad. And I used to visit Kerala a lot before that. But I had never actually gone in detail about Kerala. And I had never really tried to understand in depth what Kerala is. And I learnt a lot from the people of Kerala and also the people of Wayanad, especially the people of Wayanad. I was very surprised when I first arrived there. There was a big landslide and a lot of people had died. And I was very surprised at the reaction of the people to that landslide. In fact, I was very impressed by it. Because even people who had lost everything, they were more interested in helping other people. So it was quite amazing to see that somebody who's lost his family, lost his house, he's interested in helping somebody else. And it didn't matter what community that person was from, whether they were rich or poor, what religion, none of that mattered. It was that there's a problem and all of us have to get together to solve the problem. I found that to be a very powerful thing. I think you have a very old tradition here. Before coming here, I went to a function commemorating Narayana Guruji. And you have a very deep tradition here, your own history, your own traditions, that are very valuable to the rest of the country. And you should always operate within that framework, within your tradition, your culture, your language. There's a lot to learn from the outside world, but you must always be rooted to your own way of life, your own tradition. And then you can learn things from others. Of course, you people have made us very proud. Wherever you go, I've traveled a lot in the Middle East, and the only thing one hears about the people of Kerala is praise. You never hear anything negative. You're always hearing praise about the work you do in hospitals, how you look after people, the respect. So that's very nice. That's very nice to hear. I've also dealt with, sometimes my mother falls sick. We take her to hospital, and then there's the Kerala nurses there. So I've dealt with them directly also, and I know their magic. So those are the type of things that Kerala brings to the country. I'm quite impressed by your auditorium. When we were in college, when we were in school and college, we didn't have these chairs, these comfortable chairs. Huh? Very, very nice facilities here.
Thank you, sir. It's a great happiness to hear so. So, can we go with the next?
Yeah, you don't have to ask me, just
Yes,
go.
okay. So, yeah, he spoke about Kerala and we are more energetic now. So, next we'll go with Angela. She's here. Yeah, come on, it's your turn.
What's her name?
Angela. Angela.
Angela.
So good afternoon, Rahul ji.
Good afternoon.
Myself, I am Angela. I am a first year student at the Bachelor of Business Administration department here. So you have spoke about Kerala, and thank you for speaking about us. So my question is that you have been here, you have been in Kerala for 5 years, right? So I think you will be familiar with Malayalam. Can you speak some Malayalam?
I mean, I'm not familiar with Malayalam at all. I can say Nandri. But I'm not particularly good at picking up languages. My sister is the expert in picking up languages. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I don't know if you guys remember, but a few years before, there was a very famous clip involving Rahul Gandhi, and the clip was Taire. So in summation, he was in a village. That's crazy, he doesn't remember this because I remember this so vividly. In fact, we were talking about it in the mess hall yesterday. So, can you say that again? Can we recreate that moment?
I don't remember it properly, so you tell me.
Well,
I have a lot of memes done about me, so I don't remember them all. I got some good ones and some bad ones.
well, what's your favorite one then?
I don't get into really. I'm not a big person who gets into looking at memes and what sort of. I don't like looking at myself on camera. It's not.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
But I guess by the end of the session, we will definitely recreate
Yeah.
a meme, to make our college more famous, make this event more memorable. I should have blurted that out. Anyways, moving on to the next question.
What is like a sentence which you often hear in Kerala? Any Malayalam sentence which you often hear from anybody? Any word?
Generally I will speak in English, and most of the time I'll have somebody translating. So mostly it's much more emotional contact than what people are saying, right? So it's physical contact, emotional contact, more direct love and affection than what is being transmitted by words. Yeah.
Great insight. It means that language is never a barrier.
Well,
Yes.
if you know where to look, it's not a barrier.
Great.
Yeah.
That's a great answer. So,
In fact, you see, I used to be told this, and I never quite understood it. But actual communication between human beings happens outside language. It happens in how you meet each other, look at each other, how you connect with each other. That's much more powerful than the language that you're using. I wouldn't have believed that. I wouldn't have believed that 10 years ago, but I've come to realize that that is true.
Because why that question stays to be important is from students from a remote location, they're always frightened to go study in a better institution, thinking language is a great barrier. Because how we'll communicate, how we'll go ahead without knowing proper language, how can we go communicate, how we'll get better education. So somewhere in the category of barriers from people from remote location, language is one among that.
Yeah.
That is why.
But society likes to do that, right? So society likes to say that, oh, if you speak this language, you're better. Or if you do this activity, you're better. Or if you're an engineer, you're better. But really, everybody is unique. Everybody does their own thing. So there are many brilliant institutions that might not be known as brilliant. And there might be some brilliant students sitting in institutions that are not that brilliant, but they're doing just fine. They're doing very well. And then there might be some not so brilliant students sitting in a brilliant institution and going nowhere. So I think it's much more important than where you're sitting is how you're responding and how you're thinking about what you're doing. But yes, you don't want a country where people are uncomfortable because they can't speak a language, or because they are speaking a particular language, or because they believe in something and they don't believe in something else. You want a nation where everybody is comfortable, everybody can aspire, everybody can want to do whatever they want to do. She wants to do cutlery, she should be allowed to do cutlery. Tomorrow if she says, I don't want to do cutlery, and she wants to do something else, should be allowed. But in our country, there's quite a lot of rigidities. So society will say being an engineer is good. Nobody's actually experienced what being an engineer is like, but they've already decided that that's good. Being a doctor is excellent. Being a cook is not so good, according to our society. But if you're passionate about it, that's the best thing for you, right? So I'm a person who believes that all our students are unique. None of you in this room are the same, which means that you should have a unique path. You should be allowed to choose whatever you want to do. I'm not saying that, don't listen to anybody. You listen to everybody, and then in the end, you have to decide for yourself. If you like being a cook, you like being a runner, you like being a musician, you like dancing, you like doing cutlery, you should do it.
Great insight. It will motivate a lot of students.
No, because society is always telling you, there's a competition, you all have to compete, you all have to become engineers, you all have to become doctors, and then afterwards you're miserable. Because maybe you didn't want to become a doctor, maybe you wanted to play football, or maybe you wanted to do something else. So that pressure, you should resist that pressure. You should say, I'm an individual person, I'm going to make my decision what I want to do, with respect to everybody. But if I'm passionate about that, then I want to do that.
Great, thank you. Yeah, give a big hands, because that will motivate a lot of us, obviously.
But you agree with what I'm saying?
Yes.
You agree with it, right? How many of you feel that you're forced to do things from a job perspective that you may not want to do? Right? You don't have to be shy. Lift it properly. Yeah. So there are people. There you are. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a great insight. See, they are picking from that. It will be a big motivation, actually. So
because eventually you'll only be good at something that you like doing. If you don't like doing it, you will not be good at it. So it's much better to choose what you like doing and then do it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that is
But,
so much true.
I have a question there, because even then, pursuing what you like, it's a privilege. In our country, let's say you're the only son, or let's say you're one of two children in your household. Maybe you're not so financially privileged. What if they need this child to do this job to live a dignified life? What if they don't have the freedom to go somewhere else, find out them, discover themselves? You know, have that freedom, have that safety net.
Yeah, so even if, regardless of what you're doing, you still have the ability to engage in it in whichever way you want. You will decide that, right? So that freedom you will always have. And human beings, especially young human beings, are very, very imaginative and very powerful, right? So obviously everybody operates in constraints. Person who maybe doesn't have electricity in house, you might say, well, you know, he doesn't have electricity in his house, so he can't possibly study. How's he going to compete with somebody who has electricity in his house? But no, there are millions of people who are like, no, actually, I don't have electricity in my house. I'll still study. I'll use a candle to study. So I don't undermine human capability, right? Of course, there are constraints, and you work with constraints, and some people work with a lot more constraints than other people, right? I was half joking when I said, this is a wonderful auditorium. In my mind, I was also thinking, wow, there are many, many kids in this country who would never be able to sit on a seat like this, right? Wouldn't have the institution to give them this auditorium. So it's our duty as people who work to build the country to make sure that those people have this type of an opportunity.
So moving to the next question, it's Jacqueline. Yep.
My name is Jacqueline Maria. I am a PS English student. I am very honored to talk with you. So, Rahul ji, the question I want to ask Rahul is, what is not uncomfortable about Indian politics that every young people must be aware before they get into public life?
I guess something that children should know.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to be a politician, it's an unpleasant job. It's not a pleasant job. If you want to do it seriously, and if you have certain value system, it's a very difficult job. So you should only do it if you're serious about it, and be ready that you're going to suffer quite a lot and get beaten up and pushed around. If you're doing it for the right reason. If you're doing it for the wrong reason, then it's easy. Then there's no problem. So that's the decision you have to make. Am I doing it for myself? Am I doing it for benefiting myself? Then you have one other path. And then you say, am I doing it to benefit or defend certain ideas or certain values? Then the path is completely different. One is unpleasant, difficult path, but you learn a lot and you're actually quite useful. The other one, easy path. You might not learn that much. Maybe you'll have a big house, a lot of money. So these are two paths. So you have to make a decision which one. You cannot go on one and then suddenly go on the other. If you go on this one, then that one is blocked. If you go on that one, then this one is blocked. That's really the decision. Are you thinking of joining politics?
I don't know what exactly I'm supposed to answer to that.
You can say no or you can say yes.
Balance.
Balanced. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
But in my experience, when I first joined politics, the general thing that people say, right, that in politics you cannot be honest. They say it. And I refuse to believe that. So I am testing the idea that honesty is possible in politics. For me, that's interesting. That how transparent can you be? How open can you be? How honest can you be? And where are the limitations? So that is for me very interesting, and that's what I like doing. Yeah.
Because there are many young minds who really want to continue politics with their job, their further education and everything. So first we will look on to, okay, why do I want to become a politician? So first question for a youngster would be that. The answer would be the social service. But one point will put them down from going into the politics. And that is one thing.
See, first you have to make the distinction between actively being a politician and being in politics. They're two different things. Right? So for example, the young lady who came and she did the Kalari demonstration. This was a political act. A very political act. Correct? She's not a politician. But she made a particular statement here and she said, listen, our tradition and our culture is the most important thing to us. That's what you said. Otherwise she would have, I don't know, sold lemonade or something. Right? So she came and she said, this is my tradition, this is my culture, and this is what I'm going to do. The first thing that we are going to do in this function. That's a political act. So you don't have to be a politician to do political acts. Somebody is beating up a woman on the side of the road. You don't know her. You look away and you walk off. That's not a political act. You stop and you say, hey, what are you doing? That's a political act. Right? So, you don't even have to be a politician to do political action. There are many examples of it. There's a young fellow who came and met me recently who saved an older Muslim gentleman. Right? These people were attacking the Muslim gentleman in Uttarakhand and he saved them. He's not a politician. But that's a fantastic political act. That I will not allow you to do this in my country. Right? So you have to start thinking not just that I'm a politician. You have to start thinking, okay, am I acting politically? This is a completely different thing. And everybody can act politically. In fact, you act politically all the time in your life. You see somebody getting bullied for no reason, or you see a poor person being treated badly, you can just look the other way and walk off and say, not my business, not a political act. Or you can say, wait a minute, why did you do that? That's a political act.
Moving to the next question, it's Nimisha. Yeah, Nimisha, it's your turn for putting forward your question.
Hi, Rahulji. My name is Nimisha Helen. I am from Media Studies Department, first year student. Actually, I am coming from Thiruvananthapuram. Today I am talking to you a serious question. Recently, there is a growing concern that cinema and popular culture are sometimes used to construct a negative narratives about certain states. As seen in the debates around film likes, for example, Kerala Story, do you think cinema is increasingly being used as a political propaganda tool to shape public perception about a region or communities in India?
Well, the good news is that Kerala Kerala stories, the halls seem to be empty and nobody's really watching it. And it shows you that there are people, the majority of this country have an understanding of what's what, have an understanding of what Kerala is and Kerala's traditions and cultures. But you're absolutely correct. Movies, TV, media has been weaponized. And it is being used precisely for that purpose, to vilify people, to alienate people, to create division in society, so that certain people can benefit and other people are harmed. And I think India has actually become very much like that. You know, if a person wants to make a particular type of movie, wants to say something in the media, wants to defend certain ideas in the media, I face this all the time. He will be attacked and he will not be allowed to speak. Whereas certain other ideas, you can, spread them, propagate them as much as you want, nothing will happen to you. So yes, this is extremely damaging for the country, and it is happening. It's happening a lot, and large amounts of money are being used to do this in India.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rahul ji. One question is, it's curious about you. What kind of books, movies, or hobbies do you enjoy the most?
Books, movies and hobbies.
Yes.
I go through phases. I read quite a lot. And I read, I'll get interested in one subject. And then I'll read a lot around that subject. I'll try and understand that subject. And then I'll move on. So I read not an individual book, but I'll read a set of books. Suppose I get interested in, I don't know, military history. Then I will suddenly start reading a lot of books about war, military history, combat, etc., etc. So I do it like that. Movies, I don't watch much. Somehow these days I'm not interested that much in watching movies. I used to watch more earlier. And hobbies, I like playing chess. I do martial arts. I swim, I run, I do exercise. So I like to keep myself reasonably fit. What do you do? What hobbies do you do?
I like crafting, photography, reading.
Okay, I do a little bit of photography. Actually, now that I thought about it, I think one of my hobbies is understanding people. Like I listen carefully, and I like to listen carefully to what they're saying, try to understand what exactly is disturbing them. So I listen now much more carefully and accurately than I used to listen. Earlier I was like, okay, this is what I think I'm going to tell you. Now I'm like, that's not so important. What is important is, what are you trying to say? Why are you saying it like that? Like, for example, you said, I'll ask you a serious question. Then I'm waiting for the non-serious question. So inside people's words, there's a lot of stuff that is hidden. So I like to look at that. That's really my job. My job is understanding and listening to people.
Thank you.
And I guess because we are on pop culture theme,
I guess
because we are talking about pop culture, movies, books, and etc., I'm sure the audience also wants to know, does Rahul Gandhi watch anime? K-drama,
No,
anything of that sort?
I used to.
You used to?
I used to watch a little bit, but not lately.
Can I ask which one?
Akira. Yeah.
A man of taste, ladies and gentlemen.
I like Akira. Have you seen Akira? Yeah, it's an old anime.
And what about video games?
What about?
Video games?
You know, I have a group of friends and we play FIFA.
I guess no one saw that coming.
Yeah,
Rahul
yeah, we
Gandhi
play
playing
FIFA. We have a very competitive FIFA game. 2-on-2. Yeah.
So what really interested you when you were a teenager, when you were our age? Okay, you're now an individual, you're, I guess, in your middle ages right now. So what were you interested in when you were young?
I was just curious. I want to know why things are like this and not like that. And I would never take an answer at face value. So if I asked you something and you answered it and I wasn't happy, then I'd say, no. Tell me, explain why. So in school, I used to get into a lot of trouble. You know, the physics teacher would put a theorem up and I'd say, but why is that like that? And she'd like, no, you remember it. And I'm like, no, you tell me first, why is that like that? So I used to have that type of altercation. Then I was always into some sport or the other. So in school and college, I used to play football. Then I used to box. Then a lot of running and swimming, triathlon. So I was always doing something physical as well. Yeah.
Does cooking ever excite you?
Yeah, I know how to cook. I'm good at cooking. Well, I would say I'm good at it. My sister's better, but I'm reasonable.
Okay. Would you say you cook to live, or are you like exceptionally good, like high level? Could you be biryani, butter chicken, things of that nature? Or like, okay, I won't starve to death.
No, I don't. Look, when I was working in London, I was cooking for myself, right? So that's where I learned. Select things I can do very well, but not such a broad list of things, right? So what I like, I can do, you know, and I can do it pretty well. Yeah, food habits, I'm more non-vegetarian than vegetarian.
I mean, of course, you don't have to say that in Kerala.
Yeah.
And could you name one dish as your last meal? What would your last meal be?
Last meal?
Or favorite dish?
No, I'm not, anything.
Anything.
It shouldn't be Karela, which I don't like, and it shouldn't be spinach, and it shouldn't be peas. Otherwise, you can give me anything I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving to the next. It is Gana Shyam. Yeah, it's your turn for putting forward your question.
Hi, Rahulji. So, my name is Gana Shyam. I'm from first year MCom student. So, I'm really happy to see you and speak with you. So, I would like to ask, so we all know India is progressing rapidly in areas like AI, then digital innovation and space technology. But still, our education syllabus often remains outdated. So, what reforms would you propose to regularly update our syllabus and align India's education system with emerging technologies and to meet the global standards?
You know, right now, our education system, particularly our higher education system, and I don't mean you here, is under ideological attack. So a particular ideology is being imposed on the education system, and if you look at all our vice chancellors in our universities, large numbers of them are being made vice chancellors simply because they belong to the RSS and subscribe to a particular ideology. So there is a ideological pressure that is coming on the education system. And that's the first thing that has to be stopped, because an education system, especially in a country like India, must not be limited to one particular way of looking at things. And particularly, it shouldn't be limited to the RSS view, the divisive view that the RSS has. So that's the first thing I would say. The second thing is, actually India is not successful at AI. This is something you have to understand. There are two players in the AI game. The first is the United States, and the second is China. India, unfortunately, whether it is in robotics or in AI or in modern technology, is not really a major player. Certainly not when compared to the United States or the Chinese. And you could see in the AI summit itself, there was a Chinese robot masquerading as an Indian robot, right? Now, people who actually understand these things know them. If you want to be powerful at AI, you have to control your own data. That's the simple thing. The Americans are powerful at AI, are good at AI, because they have access to global data. When you send a WhatsApp, do you guys use WhatsApp? Who do you think controls the data? Meta. India doesn't control the data. The United States controls the data, right? Pretty much any information that is moving on India's communication system, on our phones, is owned and controlled by the United States. That's not the case with China. China owns its own data. There's no WhatsApp in China. So if you want to actually become a serious player in AI, the first thing you have to do is you have to make sure that you have access and control of your data. This US deal that has just been done by the Prime Minister has handed over our entire data to the United States. The United States can now keep Indian data wherever they like. American companies will not be taxed on the data front, right? So we have actually damaged our potential for AI tremendously in the last couple of weeks. If you're talking about modern technology, what we are seeing right now is a complete transformation of the way we move. Are there engineers in the room here? Okay. So what is happening is we are moving from the petrol engine and petrol to the electric motor and the battery. And whoever controls the electric motor and the battery is going to basically control technology in the future. And once again, we're not a serious player in that game, right? And the reason is that our big businesses, the Ambanis and the Adanis of this world, actually do not produce anything. They are in the business of selling Chinese product in India. They're in the business of selling Chinese phones, Chinese microphones, Chinese computers in India. And if we are serious about technology and we are serious about AI, then the first thing we have to do is control our data. And the second thing we have to do is start making things. Making computers, making electronic items, making televisions, making fridges, making these things. Because technological advancement is going to come either from data or from manufacturing. And you will see, you won't like what I'm going to say, but you're going to see that jobs in the services industry, jobs in the software industry, which were the mainstay of our country, which served us really well, are going to be wiped out by AI. Right? So, what I'm worried about is that there is a transition taking place. There is a transition taking place on the data front, and there is a transition taking place on the manufacturing front, on the mobility front, and we are just looking. America is dominating one side of it, the data in the West. China is dominating the other side of it, and China is the only one who's making anything in the world today. This microphone probably made in China, your shoes probably made in China, your watch probably made in China. So your responsibility, we talked about politics versus politicians. Your responsibility is to ask a couple of simple questions. Number one, why are we not controlling our data? Why is our data not, it is the wealth of our people. Why is it not in our hands? Why is it being given away for free? Second, why are we not producing anything? Because if we don't produce anything, the vast majority of Indian children, youngsters cannot get jobs. Because jobs are going to come out of manufacturing. So these are the political questions that you should be asking. Why is it that we are allowing China to become the producer of the world? The factory of the world. Why are we not doing it? Number one. Number two, why is all our data, which is our wealth, wealth of the people of Kerala, wealth of the people of India, being handed out just for free to Meta, Facebook, WhatsApp, Google, and all these people? These are the two fundamental questions, political questions that you have to ask. And this is, if you answer this question, you can solve the riddle of why millions of young Keralites are being forced to leave this state and go and work in other parts of the world. If you don't solve these two, if we do not solve these two problems, then we're going to be stuck with nothing being made here, no jobs being created here, and our youngsters being forced to go outside this country.
Thank you.
Moving to the next question, it's Bobby Lal. Bobby, it's your turn. Yeah.
So before I begin, may I call you Cheta?
Yeah. Well, first tell me what it means. Bhaiya, okay. Yeah. You can call me anything you want.
Yes, we call Cheta to someone who is elder than us.
Okay.
And, my name
Cheta.
is, yes, Cheta.
And what do you say to somebody who's younger?
Anya.
Anya.
Yes.
Okay. Anya.
And good afternoon, Cheta. My name is Bobilal. I am a first year BCom student. And it's one of my greatest privileges to ask you a question. And thank you for spending your most of the time with us. And moving towards the question, we are all aware of the war going on between Israel and Iran. Do you think this war could affect India adversely?
Yeah. Hugely.
How do you think it will?
First of all, on the surface, it looks like a war between America, Israel, and Iran. It's actually a conflict between America, China, and Russia. That's the real players are America, China, and Russia. And the conflict is taking place in Iran, in Ukraine, and in other places. But the real conflict, the big conflict, is that we have a superpower called the United States, and we have a challenger called China. And the United States is trying to make sure it remains the superpower, and China is slowly advancing closer and closer to the United States. So that's the broader picture. The Middle East is the center of energy production in the world. So pretty much all energy that is being utilized, or a huge chunk of it, is coming from the Middle East. Right? The cars that you're driving, the buses, the cars, most of it is coming from there. And that is now being constricted. The Strait of Hormuz is blocked. The Americans are attacking Iran. Iranians are attacking the American assets. But the story for the rest of the world is, you guys are fighting, but we are also going to pay the price. And how is India going to pay the price? Directly because of our energy reliance on the Middle East. Huge part of our oil comes from the Middle East. That is going to get very expensive. That is going to get disrupted. Prices in India are going to rise. Fuel in India is going to become more expensive. Economic growth in India is going to slow down. And so we have to be very careful about what we do. And by the way, this is not only about the Iran-Israel-America conflict. This is the world we are now moving into. You will see that more and more conflicts of this nature are going to come. There is already one in Ukraine. Millions of people have been killed. Now there's one in Iran. But these conflicts, at least for this period, for this transition period, they're going to increase. And you're going to see more and more of them. So India has to understand that we are now entering a violent time, dangerous time. So we have to be very clear on what our policy positions are, on why we do what we are doing, and how we are maneuvering through this dangerous period. Because if we don't, and we get caught in the fight, then we are in serious trouble. China's on our border, and America's our ally. And they're getting ready to fight. So we have to be very careful where we are standing, and that we don't suddenly get sucked into their fight.
If you were the one making decisions, what would be the changes that you will make to safeguard us Indians?
The single most important thing for any country is to know what its strength is. And because it's your strength that protects you. Right? So India's strengths are very clear. India's strength is harmony and diversity. That means India's strength is that we bring people together, we create harmony, even though people are very different. Kerala is an excellent example of that. You are extremely diverse, but you are calm, collected, harmonious. So our biggest strength is keeping all our people together, united, comfortable, and protected. In the 21st century, something fantastic has happened, which never happened before. Which is that any information, regardless of what it is, suddenly has value. You send a WhatsApp from here to there, it has value. Automatically. Right? Your medical history has value. We call that data. So for us, if we want to be a powerful country, we have to understand that we have the largest pool of data on the planet. The only comparable pool of data to us is China. We have 1.4 billion people, they have 1.4 billion people. Size is the same. Basic amount of data being created is similar. This is like our central resource. And this is what is going to protect us. So we have to make sure that it is secured and that our people benefit from it. Not American companies, not the United States. Please understand one more thing. That in the fight between China and America, what do you think is the single most important asset? If you're American and you're competing with China, what do you think is the single most important asset? Try. Indian data. Because the United States understands very clearly that without Indian data, the United States cannot remain a superpower. It is only the United States combined with Indian data that can compete with China. Without Indian data, America can never compete with China. This is something they realize, but we don't realize. Our political class doesn't realize. Our students don't realize. In fact, before I told you, I don't think you would think about it. That actually Indian data is like, oil in the 20th century. Countries that had oil in the 20th century, America, Russia, Saudi Arabia, they used that oil to develop. The same way, data is like oil. And we have the biggest pool, but we are just gifting it. We're just giving it away for free. So these to me are the two central things that we got to make sure. That we have data, that our people are harmonious, protected, comfortable, not fighting among each other. And then the third thing is, can we get into competing with China on production? Can we start to make these things, shoes, watches, this, in India, and can we make it competitively with China? If we do these three things, nobody's going to touch us. Nobody can touch us, nobody will be able to touch us. But if we give away our data, if we don't produce anything, and our people are fighting with each other, then we're in trouble. And my problem is that that's the path we're on. The path we're on is, our people are being made to fight. One religion is being made to fight another religion. One language is being made to fight another language. One caste is being made to fight another caste. We're not producing anything, and we're just handing over our biggest asset to the United States. So that's actually what my political fight is about.
So that about rounds up our Q&A session. And thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your time with us. And hopefully, when you move on to our main auditorium, hopefully we'll be able to recreate that meme.
Okay.
If we can.
Okay. So are we done?
We have a vote of thanks and, of course, national anthem.
So can I just say 2 words?
Yes, please.
Well, look, thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me here. It's an honor for me to come here. I really like chatting to you, talking to you. You're the future of this country. You don't quite understand it right now, but you're the people who are going to run this country. We are essentially going to hand this country over to your generation. That's your responsibility. So of course you must do what is good for yourselves personally, but you also must keep in mind that there's something beyond me also. There's other people who live in this country. There's other ideas in this country. There are other traditions in this country. And be as open-minded as possible to other traditions, to other ideas. You can learn a lot from them, and they can learn a lot from you. Thank you very much. All the best.
To formally conclude today's event, may I invite Ms. Ashita Chako, Chairperson MCSE, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to everyone present here. It's my privilege to stand before you and propose the vote of thanks on this special occasion as we conclude a meaningful and engaging interactive session with one of the prominent leaders of our nation. Today's gathering has been a wonderful opportunity for students to listen, reflect, and interact directly with Sri Rahul Gandhi ji, a national leader known for his commitment to democratic values, youth empowerment, and inclusive development. The openness with which you engaged with the questions and thoughts of the students has made the session truly valuable for all of us. For many people across the country, your commitment to public life and your vision for the nation represent hope and aspiration. For today's youth, the dream of seeing you as the future Prime Minister of India reflects their belief in leadership that listens, understands, guides the nation forward. Thank you, sir, for being with us here today. I would also like to extend our heartfelt thanks to our respected Member of Parliament, Shri Dean Kuriakos, for being present here with us today and for his continued encouragement and support to the youth. My heartfelt appreciation also goes to Shri K.C. Venugopal, Honorable Member of Parliament and AICC General Secretary, whose gracious presence has further honored this gathering. My sincere gratitude goes to our manager, Reverend Father Bobby Alex Manaplakil, Administrator Father Thomas Abraham, our Vice Principal Father Dr. Shaiju K.S. for their guidance, support and leadership in organizing this wonderful program. I would also like to mention two additional guests. That's Binu Shankar from our alumni batch and his wife, Shadi Binu Shankar, who has coordinated the behind scenes of our program. Only because of them, this program happened here very successfully. And to thank all the dignitaries, faculty members, staff, security personnel, media, and everyone who worked behind the scenes to make this program smooth and successful. Finally, a special thanks to my dear fellow students, whose enthusiasm and thoughtful questions made this interactive session lively and meaningful. Once again, we express our deep gratitude to Shri Rahul Gandhi ji for taking the time to connect with us and for sharing this valuable moment with our institution. With sincere gratitude, I conclude the word of thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ashrita, for your warm words of gratitude. And up next, we are supposed to do a memento distribution ceremony. But before that, Rahul ji has agreed to recreate that famous meme. And okay, so this is the clip. Oh, and by the way, Tair, it's also the curd. The word Tair is also curd in Malayalam and curd in Tamil. So it's not natively specific, exclusive to us, but at the same sense, it's funny. So this is the original clip.
Okay, so what do you want me to say? You want me to say Tairi?
Vengayam. Okay.
So what do you think? What do you want to, like, the word is Tair.
You're the person who has to do it. You tell me what I have to do.
Okay, I guess we can do a short skit. I'm making buttermilk. To make buttermilk, what do I do? No, I need curd. I need curd. So I'll ask, yo man, where's the curd? Yo, Tairi. So you have to say, Tairi Ibadam.
Tairi
Ibadam.
Ibadam. Tairi Ibadam. No, say it again.
So the idea is, we'll do a small skit. I'm making buttermilk, and I'll ask you, hey Rahul, where's the buttermilk?
Okay.
So you'll tell me, Tairi Ibadam.
Tairi?
Ibadam.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yo Rahul, where's the buttermilk?
Tairi Ibadam. Was that accurate?
That was accurate.
Thank you. It was so interesting.
And one small thing.
We have the college administrator,
Thomas
Thomas
Abraham.
Abraham. So to present a momentum on behalf of the college as their token of love to Rahul Gandhi ji. Please, Father. Yeah, we can take a photo. We can take a photo with Rahul Gandhi ji. Yeah, I request the students who are seated in the back to just come forward and line up in the middle gap. You can see the middle gap there. Please line up there.
നാഷണൽ പറയണ്ടേ നാഷണൽ അനൗൺസ് I